I grew up in this area. Since I was a little boy, grew up. We want to be here, managing the land, just looking after things. We can sell fruits, bush medicine, and make money. You can make your own factory, juice factory, and you can do whatever you want, Sell those juice to the market. You'll be rich men sitting there. I mean, you're rich here, look, you see.
In the middle of Australia's north coast, facing the Arafura Sea, a unique region of winding rivers, vast floodplains, and dense eucalyptus forests covers some 95,000 square kilometres, an area the size of Portugal. This is Arnhem Land. Despite its harsh environment, the region has been home for 50,000 years to one of the oldest civilizations in the world, the Aborigines. Living in isolated communities and speaking over 60 different languages, the 20,000 Aboriginal inhabitants share the same creation story, the dream time. Originally a dark and empty land, their ancestors emerged from the dawn of time and created the landscape, water, rocks, and every living thing. Aboriginal people came from the land. They depend on it for their survival, and they continue to be custodians of it. In the 1950s, white settlers arrived in Arnhem Land, chasing the Aborigines off their sacred lands.
When the white men came, they brought strange new ways. We changed the pattern of life for the Aborigines, and it was hard for them to understand that the new way of life meant the end of the old. To the country of the Aborigines, we brought new animals, and the old life of the walkabout was no longer possible. And little by little, the Aborigines found their old life ebbing away. We can show him the way to a new life. The settlement at Maningrida is new. Children get the food that will make them healthy, and their mothers are taught basic rules of nutrition. The battle for food has always set the pattern of life for the Aborigines. Now they learn a new way to win that battle, a new way to live.
Over 2,000 Aborigines from 12 different language groups were gathered together in Maningrida. Their former life of hunting and gathering bush foods gave way to a more sedentary existence. Maningrida soon joined the long list of settlements of dispossessed Aborigines found throughout Australia, all marked by the same list of problems: overcrowding, unemployment, drug and alcohol abuse, and chronic illness.
At the moment, we got a lot of crowded people here living in one house. You probably get 10 or 20 people as family, Yeah, it's really hard. People living here, There's a lot of people getting sick. You got TB, everything, diabetes, they have high cholesterol, the high blood pressure. That's really bad that most of people don't do exercise here. Most of them you find now, say from 40 to 50, having a problem with heart attacks, because people like eating greasy food, like chicken, chips, they're the ones, Here You just lay around and wait for your money, then go to the shop and then all your money's gone, you got no food, then you're gonna starve, you know. And a lot of people are sick today, you know, because they should be back home in the bush, you know.
Some Aborigines managed to stay on their lands, resisting the pressure to move into towns. They continued to live a traditional nomadic life, surviving off the plants and animals of the bush, as did their ancestors. A rudimentary life based on one essential principle: the attachment to the land, the source of Aboriginal culture and spirituality. Since the dream time, the story of creation, the ancestors and their descendants came from the earth and live in balance and harmony with it. The telling of stories, the creation of song and dance, the expression of art, all result from the relationship between human beings and the dream time. Separated from the land, the traditions, customs, rituals and beliefs that allowed Aboriginal people to survive for 50,000 years risk disappearing. However, by the mid-1960s, encouraged by the Australian government, the majority of Aborigines in Arnhem Land had abandoned the lands of their ancestors.
This is our nature, you know, where the food is.